I would like to introduce Raj Devalapalli. He holds multiple degrees, including his bachelor's and master's degree in pharmacy from India, a master's in industrial pharmacy from Brooklyn College of Pharmacy, LIU, and an MBA in pharmaceutical studies from FDU in New Jersey, and he's also a licensed pharmacist in New Jersey. He's an accomplished pharmaceutical professional with over 25 years of experience in product development, manufacturing, regulatory compliance, the co-founder and partner in multiple pharmaceutical ventures, including Recon Pharma, Mira Pharma, Ingenus Pharmaceuticals, Avixa Pharmaceuticals, and he's currently serving as the president and manufacturing at Ingenus, which I don't know if I'm saying right, Pharmaceuticals, a company with an FDA and DEA approved facility. And he offers senior advisory services to startups in the pharma and healthcare sectors. He's also a seasoned entrepreneur, life coach, and author of Simple Lives and Simple Thoughts, which we shared the audio book with you. So on behalf of the students here at LIU and the faculty, I listened to your book. Thank you so much for sharing that. We greatly appreciate you. And again, round of applause.
Do you want a video?
Yes, please. And I don't know if you want to do your own slides. If not, I'd be happy to do them. So this goes to the next slide.
Okay, give you your phone.
I have it.
Oh, you have it. Oh, you already doing it.
Okay. Is your mics okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hello, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear? Yes. Awesome. Thank you very much, Tracy, and I'd like to thank Eileen. Eileen's been in touch with me for several months now, and we were talking about, what can an alumni come and do for this school. So thank you for this opportunity that I would like to talk about my life, my journey, and how I started my grad program here in Long Island University. So 37 years ago, I joined LIU, Arnold and Mary Stuart's College of Pharmacy, like you guys. I came to US with a lot of dreams, a lot of aspirations, and one fine day, I landed in JFK, and the challenges for me started from that time onwards. You know, life has many challenges, right? We all go through challenges, but those are the life lessons that we learn. If we don't have challenges, if the life is kind of very easy, then it kind of becomes mundane and very boring, right? You want to have the life to be adventurous, a little bit of happiness, a little bit of hustling, and juggling things, and that's make our life very interesting, though. So I was not planning on preparing slides. That's what I told Tracy. But then on weekend morning, Sunday morning, I woke up 4 o'clock. I said, why don't I put some slides anyway, so that I can show you some of the things that I have done or I've been doing as a person with a lot of dreams who came here several years ago. So as you can see, I'm sure you guys know about the field of dreams, right? Since I'm here in this country, that thing stuck in my mind, the field of dreams. If you build, he will come. Meaning, if you want to achieve something, if you want to do something very meaningful, you will have people coming to you, appreciating your hard work. Because getting there is not an easy task, right? If everybody can get there and fulfill their dreams, then everything is going to be like great, like, so there are no challenges. But people go through a lot of grinding, and there's a lot of grit involved and a lot of seriousness involved if you want to become successful or you want to add value in whatever you want to do. As a child, I think, as a children, we play. You don't have much of the responsibilities, as life goes easily, other than doing the homework, which is, of course, the boring stuff, listening to classes. But then that's it. You come home, you play. Nowadays, with the social media, the Instagrams, the Reels, people are kind of, on the phones all the time, right? But when we were growing, even when I came to this country, there was no cell phone. And the internet was there, but it's not available for people. Like in the university, when I joined, if I had to type something, I used to go to a computer lab and then sign up for some time to type anything that I want to do. There was no email, there's no texting, there's no iMessaging, there's no WhatsApp. It's completely different. But what you guys have is amazing. Life has changed significantly in the last 3 decades or 4 decades or so. Since the day we got Apple phones in our hands and then the internet, AOL, and many of these technology companies started disrupting the world with some unique ideas. But how did those guys get there? They were people like us. Bill Gates was someone like us, or Mark Zuckerberg. They're all people like us. But they had a vision. They had dreams. And they were very serious about their vision. They were very serious about their ambitions, aspirations. And then they started working towards it. If your intentions are true, if your intentions are strong, you can manifest what you want to do. If you're dreaming something that you want that to be a reality, you need to be very sincerely, with a solid intention, work towards it, right? And this whole universe is depending on magnetic field, vibrations, so many things. I'm sure you must have heard somewhere on the media. And these can do magic. How can cell phone work, right? It's amazing. When you think of, you're talking from here and someone in Japan can immediately listen to you. You send a message to him, in seconds, he's getting a message. But how is it possible? There's nothing in between, it's just a space. But the people are smart, and they understand the metaphysics and how the metaphysics works and how the manifestation works, so they all work towards their dreams. And then they work very hard. But it's not easy for one person to do it, right? Mark Zuckerberg did not build the company by himself. Then he had to go and bring smart people like ourselves, who are pretty serious about what they want to do, create value, and then together they started making wonders. They started making miracles. They started manifesting their dreams. And this is the right time for you guys, because you're at a stage, you're going to be finishing college, excuse me, and you want to get into jobs. And I'm sure each one of you have some kind of an ambition that you want to become a scientist, become a quality specialist, a project manager, or whatever. So the journey starts from here. So you have to make sure what you want to do. And there is so much of information that is available on the social media. Excuse me, sorry. There's good information, there's garbage, and you have to make a choice. You want to pick up the good information, or you want to carry garbage from place to place. And those are the people, they're going to become useless. So you need to pick up the right stuff from the information that is available, and you screen that, and then take some, and then run with it. So that's all the life is all about, you know. Everybody who's sitting here has the energy and has the ability to do those wonders, but we need to know how to use them. We need to know how seriously you need to be about your dreams, how passionate you have to be. Nothing is going to be coming easy. There's absolutely no free lunch, guys. You have to work hard. When I joined the college, prior to coming here, my parents were taking care of me. I had nothing to worry about. My money, my pocket money, my gas, my restaurants, my books, everything my dad took care of it, right? I never had to work. And I came here at the age of 26. So from a stage of being a dependent to becoming independent took a lot of courage for me, because I'm not used to working. I never had to. We used to have servants taking care of things in our house. They would cook, they would do the laundry, you know, they would do anything. We would never do anything, right? But here, I realized the day I landed, I realized that I'm going to be alone here. I left my parents, I left my dad. So then it started kicking me. And this is the reality, right? No one's going to help me here. I have to help myself. So I came, I joined the college, and I was looking for opportunities to help to become a grad assistant and see if I can help the school so that they can pay my tuition, things like that, because I didn't want to depend on my dad's money. My dad did give me money, by the way. He gave me $15,000 37 years ago, which is a lot of money. Okay, the money was there. But I went to the bursar and I requested, can I get a tuition waiver for 2 weeks? They agreed, you know. That's the best thing about US and the colleges here. They would give you, or they would accommodate your request, right? So I had 2 weeks to find something to support myself, or end up spending my dad's money, right? So go back and become a dependent again. So, and that was the time I started working and hustling and going and talking to each department chairperson or department directors. Yeah, can I work for your department, right? Finally, at the end of the second week, the Department of Physical Therapy, the chairperson, she's a lady, a British lady by the name of Lydia Wingate. She's not here anymore. But But I had an interview with her, and she was nice to give me an opportunity. She said, hey, can you work 14 hours, help the students with their labs, and then we will pay you the tuition. And then she surprised me with the letter. When I got the letter, she said, okay, we're gonna pay you 9 credits a semester. That was a full time. And then she said, I'm gonna give you $350 a month as a stipend. I was lucky, but then it was not that easy. I had to hustle and struggle. So what happened, when you're passionate about it, the universe is going to help you. So the opportunity was created. There were no opportunities anywhere. I went there before also. I went there again. Then I was given the opportunity. And that's how you manifest. And that is the secret we all need to know. I don't know if you guys read a book called Secret, and there was video also. It talks about your dreams, talks about your desires. What it tells is what you desire, you attract towards you. Right? You desire job, and you're very passionate about it. You're going to attract that job towards you. You need to put an effort, but the universe is going to align with your desire, and the universe is going to make it a reality. Isn't it cool, guys? It is, right? Can you believe it? I believe it, which I've done it. Not easy in surviving in a country like this. So whatever I did in the last 37 years is all on my efforts, is all on my belief in this secret that I realized that if I want something, I need to be very passionate. You guys want jobs. It's not easy to get a job these days, right? There's so many people like you sending resumes everywhere, and there's only so many people get jobs, right? But how can you manifest it? So start believing in that secret. Believe me, you will be surprised to see how the universe is going to be working with you. So enough about the manifestation part, but I just wanted to tell you that nature can do wonders. And then you can take the advantage of the nature and make the nature work with you by working with the nature. Okay? It's a reciprocal thing. If you don't want to put an effort, if you're not passionate about it, the universe is not going to do magic. They wouldn't care or less. Why would they have to come and help? You know, they would probably help somebody else who's more passionate about you guys. So remember, you want to do something, whether it's studying for your test, looking for a job, getting marks, getting high grades, you have to work hard. And the results will come on its own. Okay? So that's about it. So, yeah, again, you know, I'm going to talk about the leadership series. Yeah, but what I have is, about my life and journey. I touched about it a little bit. I'm going to talk about my book. I wrote a book in 2021, published it. But can you believe it? I was never a writer. I hated writing, including my exams, right? I used to just scribble something and then I want to get out of it because that's not me. I'd like to talk. Yeah. So a time comes when some incidents will completely change you. So I'm going to tell you an experience. why I became a writer. This journey about working hard in different companies and excelling in those companies, a lot of competition. Even if you have a job, you want to grow in those jobs. You want to get promoted. You want to get a better opportunity, right? If you're not smart and if you don't act swiftly, then you will be behind. So I had to be, on my feet all the time. There were days when I used to work 18 hours a day. And if you tell me, what did you do prior to coming to this country? Absolutely nothing. I didn't do anything. Just, I used to get up, ate my breakfast, go play, go to college, study, do something, never had to worry about money and all. But then I changed everything, right? So when you do that, when you're thinking so much, and then if you don't know how to manage stress, it's going to be stressful, right? We all need to go, every time exams come, how many of you guys stress out? That you have to write an exam tomorrow and you want to get good grades and you won't be able to sleep, right? Because you don't know, some people fear tests because they don't have confidence that they will do it good. But then you go through the stress. So the next one is the mindfulness, right? So that is something I'm going to talk about it, but let me come back to the book again. So in 2017, because of the business, because of the stress, I had a cardiac issue, 2017. And that was a pretty serious one. Unfortunately, I ended up in the hospital. I went to Germany. I was in the airport walking and I could feel a little tightness in my chest and all. Then I came back. I had to move my daughter to Los Angeles because she was moving to Los Angeles. I thought I would go to my cardiologist, then I postponed it until I settled her and I came back. It was late and I went to the cardiologist. She did a stress test and she said, Raj, we need to take you to the hospital right now. I don't know how you are walking because it's pretty serious. They took me to the hospital, they did an angio. They found all kinds of blocks in my artery, diffused, right? So they did a stunt for me and they said, we have to clean up your arteries. We can't do it now. So take a rest. They moved me into another hospital, and then they said you will end up with 11 more stents in the heart because there was no possibility of a bypass. So the survival chances were pretty minimum, right? So the next day came and they did a procedure called rotoablation. I don't know if you know rotoablation. What they do is when they do the angiogram, they send a blade kind of a thing which revolves 1,500 to 2,000 RPMs. So fast, right? So as they're taking the thing into the arteries, you can go on, check on the YouTube, they will show you the procedure. It's turning so much, and it's going to scrape out all the calcium build in the arteries. So they had to clear up to put the stents, otherwise they couldn't put the stents, right? So as they were doing it, the risk involved in that is it could puncture or rupture your artery, or it could take your heart rate pretty high. My heart rate went over 400, and I had a big heart attack, and I passed out. I mean, that's a near-death experience, right? I passed out, but they had to do the defibrillation, and they gave me shock and all. Fortunately, I had to come back. For whatever reason, I mean, God gave me a chance. Okay, then I responded to them, and then they finished everything, and I came out with 5 stents. Guys, after that incident, I went through the the rehabilitation and things like that. I completely changed myself now. It's a total transformation. And that's when I used to get up in the morning, I used to get these thoughts, right? So I said, why don't I write them? Then I started writing these thoughts. Then I said, if I don't share with other people, then what good it is, right? People need to know the experiences, the challenges, and what's good and what's not good. So I started posting them on LinkedIn, started posting on Instagram, Facebook, and then slowly started getting some people responding to me, and they could relate to their problems, and they know, oh, you know what, this is how we do it. So it was complete. I completely changed myself into a different person, and then that's when I started writing. In 2021, I turned 60. My daughter and my son said, Dad, why don't you finish your book before your birthday? So I published the book, and then we celebrated my birthday in a vineyard. We had a lot of close friends and family, everybody was there. And we celebrated the book, but also we celebrated my life. And that's the kind of journey when people go, and then they still survive for a reason. And part of that, the survival thing, when I look at the book chapters, you will know. But coming back to the mindfulness and all, I know Tracy said Dr. Murad is doing a wellness and mindfulness. So I want to touch up a little bit on what mindfulness is, how you can manage your stress, how you can do your meditations, and how you can keep yourself at the ground level. Don't get agitated, frustrated, or don't get angry. You know, people are pretty bad. I mean, their temper, even some of the teachers, by the way. Okay, sorry guys, but it's a personality, right? They don't understand what a student is going to go through when they make a comment, right? I'm not trying to complain on teachers. It's like anybody. You could be the set person, you can tell something bad to your friend, and you wouldn't really care what the guy is going to be going through, right? So mindfulness is going to teach us to become conscious and become awareness of some of these things, and you need to practice certain meditations, certain yogas, certain stress-related exercises that will help you to bring to a level where you are a cool guy. Okay, people would love to talk to you, that kind of thing. Then living in the moment, again, is part of the mindfulness. We need to enjoy now, then go back in the past and worry about what mistakes you have done or what opportunity you had missed, because you can't go and change that. You need to enjoy now, today, and make sure that tomorrow will be a better day for you. You need to plan for that. Not predict or expect that tomorrow you're going to win a lotto or something like that. No, you need to be prepared yourself to have a good day with that. So that's going to talk about that, and then leadership traits, organizational leadership. You will see that leadership success. But these are some of my own thinking, my own experience. I have put something together because you're going to be learning from your teachers. They are more experts than me. My learning is my experience. I'm talking about from an application point of only. But they're going to be teaching some cool stuff that you need to learn, and how to become a good leader. And then we'll open up for questions. I don't know how much time I have. Am I going slow or?
I think you have to, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, again, all this, we talked about it. Yeah, but how I got into becoming an entrepreneur thing is also a good thing. As I was working in Pfizer, had a great job, And fortunately, they gave me a project, Lipitor. At that time, Lipitor was the #1 product in the world. $15 billion sales every year. And I became a Lipitor champion for Pfizer because I did a lot of work. And that involved a lot of hours, a lot of hard work. I used to travel all over the world. I used to go to Ireland, Germany, Puerto Rico, everywhere, wherever the Lipitor was made. That gave me so much of knowledge. Pfizer didn't want to leave me. So they kept me, even when the acquisition happened with Warner Lambert, I had an opportunity. Could I leave? But no, they said, you have to stay, right? But as I was going through these learnings and experiences, I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I wanted to go and start something on my own. Because you only live once, right? So if you want to do something, you want to become an entrepreneur, if you want to make a difference, this is the time. So I told the senior management at Pfizer, I gave them 1 year notice. I don't have to do that, but I did that because that's the ethics we learned. And then in 1 year, I transitioned everything to another person. And then September 30th was my last day. October 1st, I started Recon Pharma, an R&D company with a few of my friends, good friends. And you can only build organizations when your partners are aligned with you. If the partners are going all over the place, the company would never go. But fortunately for me, I had good friends. They went to school with me undergrad. We were classmates since my bachelor's in pharmacy. So we know each other for right now about 45 years. So we started Recon, and then 2010 we acquired a manufacturing company, and that's how we were growing the company. And we were hiring people, scientists, mostly people who were having OPTs and CPTs. A lot of students used to come and they stayed back. We've hired quite a few students. There's about 700 employees right now, and we are in 7 locations. It's a global company. We have over 200 talented scientists working 24 hours because we have an R&D in India, R&D here. The people go to bed here, and then the people start working there. So it's like we are continuously developing products. We developed several products. We got approvals for over 200 products. We launched over 150 products, and we are still launching. And when we merged, the merger is also is going to be a challenge because now you have to deal with new partners. But fortunately for us, the partners who joined us were also aligned. So we are one management team with one mission, one goal: create value, build an organization, bring people, train them, and make them exceptionally good scientists. And that's an entrepreneur would do. That's the value that you are doing. Entrepreneurs are not going to work for money, though. The money will come. Entrepreneurs believe in creating a value, making a difference. They may have made billions of dollars, but what are they going to do with the money? They keep donating the money and all. But if you're thinking about the money, you keep taking the money from the company, then the company is not going to grow. So we believed in building the value of the company. None of the partners took money from the company. We just take some base salaries. We didn't even take any bonuses, but we were giving bonuses to our employees because we felt the human capital is the most important thing. And then we did that. So the company has grown nicely. The people are happy because, again, creating a happy environment is a leadership trait that we're going to talk about it, right? If you want to become a leader, then you need to make your team in a comfort zone. You need to make sure that they are working, but you need to make sure they're happy also. And that's being a good leader. And that's what we've been doing. And well, you know, we talked about this. Again, guys, there's an audio book on YouTube which was shared with you guys. I suggest listen to that. You will feel that there is value in the book. Unless I never went and promoted the book, by the way, because I don't believe, I am not into make money. I kept giving the books for free, sharing the audiobook for free. On Spotify, it's $20, but I don't want people to buy it because I'm not interested in the money that I am going to make out of it. So I never promoted it. But it has to be recognized that people listen and then they talk to other people, and that's how people started listening. But I did get a good feedback from different people. Talks about self-realization, mindfulness, talks about happiness and blissfulness, talks about relationships and forgiveness. Relationships is everywhere, right? Could be a friend, could be a family, it could be customers, vendors, and you need to build a relationship which is very hard because there's got to be a lot of trust involved in that, and the only way you can build a relationship is if you know how to listen to the other side of the story. A lot of times we only tell our stories, we don't want to listen to the other side, right? But if you're listening to the other's perspective, respecting that, and accept whatever is coming your way, then there is absolutely no issues. You can build a solid relationship. Forgiveness is the most blessing thing anybody can do. If someone is bothering you, just ignore it. Forgive them. Forgive and forget. That's the best thing you can do because they will bother you and they will go and they're bothering somebody else. But now you're upset, you're sensitive about it, why this person is bothering me, and you're going to get frustrated and angry. But just imagine if you forgive them, that maybe they're ignorant people. Maybe they don't deserve to be your friend. Delete them, ignore them. So that's forgiveness. And gratitude and forgiveness and being thankfulness are the most important things. And that comes under the art of life. That's how you lead a very happy life. Not talking about the mindfulness again, it's all about metaphysics and vibrations and all. One thing I can tell, if people who are vibrating at a lower frequency, and those are the people that are attracting negativity, they're attracting bad people, because where you vibrate or how you vibrate, you're going to attract the same vibrating people though. So you need to elevate and enlighten yourself, right? So you need to raise your frequency level. If you're going up, then you are going to be a happy camper, very peaceful, stress-free, all the time happiness and blissful. You're always helping people, you're always forgiving people. And that's mindfulness as far as I'm concerned. And you can do a lot of breathing exercises, you can do a lot of meditation, you can walk, you can do some exercise, but this is very important for people to be happy in their life and build their relationship. People will come to you. Enjoying the presence, again, you know, I always post on LinkedIn, so I don't know if somebody may have. I do this every day for people to know. This is about living in the moment, living in the present, because life is like a bubble, as far as I'm concerned. And it's beautiful when the bubble is floating around, like kids would run after that. But how long a bubble is going to survive, and you can see like nice colors also in the bubble. But the time comes, it pops. So that's it. The bubble pops. We're not there anymore. So enjoy now than postponing something for tomorrow, because we don't even know tomorrow we're going to wake up or not, right? So living in the present is absolutely the best thing anybody can do. Again, this is going to be relating to your mindfulness. Leadership traits, we're going to talk about mission, vision, intelligence, being inquisitive, inclusivity, emotional, and all that. If you want to become a leader, there's got to be a purpose, right? A leader has to have a purpose, and he needs to have a vision and a mission, and he needs to be working towards it, and make sure he coaches his team to walk with the same purpose. And it's very hard to manage people because people would go all over the places. But a good leader can keep his team focused because they're all working towards the goal, but they're all working together. And the leader is also going to be working with the team. And leader is always staying in the back. A true leader is always staying in the back, and he's letting his people do the job, motivate them, and mentor them, because the people should be credited. The leader should not be getting credited. The leader is a leader, right? But who's actually doing the job? The people are actually following the goals and ambitions, and they're the ones who should be credited. And he always appreciates people. He always recognizes people. And that's the kind of leadership you guys need to learn. And always there's something, nowadays people talk about emotional leadership, sensitive, situational leadership. You know, people apply those things. You know, sometimes people may be reporting to you, and one person is actually needs some direction, some guidance. If you don't give him a guidance, then where is he going to go? If he doesn't know the objective, where is he going to go? So as a leader, the leader would walk him until he understands the purpose, and then he's going to leave him on his own. Okay, this is called directive leadership. And sometimes if somebody is smart, you let them go on their own. And they do the job by themselves, being independent, and they take the responsibility, and they are going to be accountable for that. And leader is always there behind, coaching them and guiding them. So that's the leadership. And leaders always give feedback, because feedback is very important. You want to know how you're doing. If a leader is not giving a feedback, then how would you know how you're doing, right? So a good leader is always going to be a good critic. He's going to be very candid about your performance. He's going to tell you you're doing good or you need some improvement. But there is a way to communicate with the team. You can't be rude with him. You can't say, hey, you don't know what you're doing. That's not how you tell them. You need to tell them that, hey, you're doing good, but I think you can still improve. Because everybody needs improvement. Even a leader needs improvement. And Tracy said it. I mean, you have to learn every day. Okay? A leader clones many leaders, right? A leader is not just going to be a leader and then he's going to end the chapter. He needs to coach the next leaders. And that's what I think the school is doing. You need many leaders in this country to make U.S. great again. MAGA, Trump is talking about making America great again. America needs good leaders. And how can you all become good leaders? 20 years from now, if we look at all of you guys may be VPs, or maybe you guys may be a CEO or owners doing well and helping communities, helping people. But you are made to do that with some help from the university. And whoever you're going to be working with, they're going to be, a good leader is always going to coach you, mentor you, and do all that, okay? He's going to make you enthusiastic, he's going to enable you, he's going to make you excel in your performance. So that's the leadership trait is all about. In the organization, again, if a company has to grow and succeed and recognize as a good company, what are certain criteria people are going to look at it, right? Is the company successful? Is the leadership team sensitive about their employees? Do they respect their employees? Is it a happy place to go and work, right? A lot of times they do a survey and then every year they say, hey, Google is the best place to work, or Facebook is Meta is the best place to work. And there could be some other companies like Tesla, he's going to push them so hard, some people get burned out and things like that. So organizationally, if you want to build good organization, you need to bring good leaders, and you need to train the employees to become good leaders again. So a leader would always clone a leader, and accountability, loyalty, performance creates good employees. So even for employees also, there is always a responsibility for you to become an employee. And you're responsible for your job, for what you do, whether you fail or you succeed, you are accountable for that. If you succeed, they're going to reward you, they're going to appraise you, they're going to increase your salaries and all, but if you fail, a true leader is not going to punish you for that. He's going to make you learn from your mistake. It's okay to fail. People fail. I failed my 10th grade, by the way, and I'm not afraid to share that I failed my 10th grade. We shouldn't be. But just because someone failed in the 10th grade, he's not going to be a failure in his entire life. No. Look what I'm doing right now. I failed, but there will be some failures for us, but there will be some successes, some home runs we're going to hit in our life. But it all depends on your mind. Mind is the most critical thing that makes us a good leader or a good person, okay? This is a success path I'm showing. Without an action, there is no reaction, right? You guys know about the chemistry and all. But you need to have a plan, and you need to know how to prioritize. Then you need to know how to perform and execute. Just talking is not enough, right? I don't know if you guys heard, you should walk the talk. A lot of people talk, but they lack execution. People, I've heard people, they wanted to become an entrepreneur, they want to be successful, they will say, I will do this, I can build a $1 billion business, but he never does, because he lacks execution. Execution is the most important thing. And so is your planning and how you want to prioritize and how you want to perform. Staying focused and being optimistic is, again, a strength that as a leader, if you're not optimistic, you're always pessimistic, then you're attracting all kinds of problems. And you would never go forward, right? And then never give up attitude, right? People give up halfway through, but we shouldn't be giving up. If you are assigned a task, make sure you complete the task, though. Passion, grit, and perseverance. Again, I talked about it. It's very important. Execution is important. And be prepared to fail and learn from your failures. If you fall down, just spring back and run again. That's what people do. A lot of people failed pretty badly. But then they came back and then they became billionaires again. How is it possible? They lost everything, but they could, that's the game you need to play, and you need to know how to play the game. Okay, guys? So, yeah, again, becoming a good leader, some quality about being the integrity, being inquisitive. You need to be very anxious about what you want to learn, and serve and lead, and willingness to accept and tolerate a failure. These are all some of the qualities a good leader would have. Don't bring your egos into play when you become a leader, because a leader with an ego is a disaster. The leader has to be egoless. He should be completely egoless, and he should be selfless. He will not have expectations. He would accept the performance, but then he will take the accountability and responsibility if the team is not performing, and he will make sure, try different ways to get the team perform and succeed. The same thing happens in football. The coach is standing out, and then he's strategizing with the team in how to move the ball towards the goal. They do everything behind the curtains. They're not going to be ahead in the game, okay? That's all I have, guys. Questions and answers. I hope I didn't make you guys sleep. I think some of you guys were a little drowsy, but it's okay.
It's after lunch, Tom.
Okay? Huh?
It's after lunch, everybody gets a little
Okay.
drowsy.
So I hope you guys learned something from what I shared. So I'm going to wish you all the best. Okay, do well in your college, do well in your careers, pick the right careers, and do well wherever you go. Always believe in creating value. Okay. Thank you.
But do you have any questions? I know there are a lot of pharmacy students. I think we even have some graduate students here that are interested in, again, being an entrepreneur, pharma, innovative. Questions?
Yeah, so looking back, what was the most important decision that shaped your trajectory?
Okay.
Looking back, what was the most important decision that shaped your trajectory?
Creating value, right? If you're working in a company as an employee, you still create some value, right? But at the end, you're still going to be an employee. But some people want to be employees. But then, if you want to create value, build an organization, hire people, make the difference, that's the difference, right? And that is the most important thing. Now we are able to support 700 families, right? We give them good salaries, we train them, we make them good employees, talented guys, we coach them, they all go and progress. That's the main thing. Money was never a reason for me. It should not be a money-driven purpose. It should be a purpose-driven aspiration. Right? Money will follow, no matter what. You don't think about money, you think about what value you want to build. If the value is building, wherever you go, the money is going to follow. Right now, otherwise what will happen is we're going to chase the money, and you will never catch up with that, though. Okay, I hope that makes sense.
Good question, thank you. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Yes. You need to talk a little loud.
Yes.
Why did I
Why
choose
did you choose
pharmacy?
pharmacy as your career?
Well, I was forced by the destiny to choose. This was not my choice, actually. I wanted to become a doctor. Okay, so I went through in India. You guys know, entrance exams and all. I got admitted into a medical school. But unfortunately, that year, they wanted to give women priority. So because they wanted to bring 10 girls into the list, they had to push me out. Right? So my dad was very upset, so he sued the college or the entrance board and all. We went up to the Supreme Court and all, but then I said I have to do something, so I thought, should I do dairy? Milk products, right? And then somebody said, why don't you go to a pharmacist? That might be good, right? But in India, during those times, pharmacy is like, a misconception is pharmacists are compounders, meaning they're helping doctors making the Tylenol solution and all. But then I decided to go to pharmacy school. I got the admission. 3 years later, the medical school offered me a seat. I turned it down. I said I wanted that time, but now I don't want. And I'm glad I made that decision because becoming a pharmacist has completely changed my life, my journey. I wouldn't have done any of these things if I had become a doctor at that time. I would be in India, maybe treating people. I'm sure still doctors are adding value, but this kind of experience, I would miss that. Okay, so pharmacy really gave me a reason to come to US. Because at that time, the pharmacy in US was booming, doing really well. Okay, so.
Did you have a question next? Go ahead.
So, when you were entering the industry, the pharmacy industry, we all know that, while building your own organization, we have so many competition, like so many people in the
Sorry, you have to talk a little loud, yeah.
So, when you are like opening your own organization, your own company, you have so much industrial competition around you. So, while entering the industry, how difficult was the journey to like co-found your own entire,
Yeah.
company?
It's not easy. I think the year we picked to start a company was 2008. And that was the time the economy was so bad. I don't know if you guys know about stock market crashed. Okay, every company was laying off people. And we started our company and we started hiring people. Okay, but what we wanted to do was we always wanted to do something different than what other companies were doing. Fortunately, what we had was a tremendous amount of experience and knowledge in science. My partners, all of my partners are pharmacists. My other partner also went to Long Island University, by the way. He's a graduate from here. But they're all like great scientists, right? So we kind of diversified ourselves, and then we started developing different types of dosage forms. But we didn't go after big products where everybody is going after the big. We went after smaller, more niche products and more complex products. Very difficult to develop, but we had the ability to develop a difficult product, and that's how we differentiated ourselves, and that's how we survived this whole challenge. Generic business is always very, very challenging because the pricing is always going to be an issue. But we always did something different every year, right? If you see our product portfolio, I'm going to be proudly telling you guys that we are one of the very few companies in the world who has successfully developed any kind of dosage form in a pharma industry. If you name it, ophthalmics, nasal sprays, inhalers, ointments, creams, gels, lotions, liquids, tablets, capsules, microspheres, transdermal patches, injectables, oncology injectables, everything. We have every product that is a type of dosage form, we made it. Typically, companies focus on a certain, like maybe solid orals, maybe topical, but we did everything, but we did very efficiently. But when we started, we were very enthusiastic and very ambitious. So I used to go and present to these bigger organizations. And I was like, they thought I was talking, because I was boasting of our ability. We can do this, right? None of those guys believed in us, okay? After 15 years, one of the president of a bigger organization where I went and I presented, he laughed at me. He called me back and he said, Raj, I've been following you. When you said you're gonna do all these things, I didn't believe in you. I thought you were just faking. I am sorry. I would take my word back. And he applauded. He said, you guys did a phenomenal job in the industry. But that's what I'm saying. One of the things, walking the talk, right? If you talk, then be confident that you're going to do it. Okay? Thank you.
Hold on a couple more. Go ahead.
What skills were hardest to develop as an entrepreneur that turned out to be the most
Sorry, I can.
What skills were hardest to develop as an entrepreneur but turned out to be the most valuable?
Well, again, working with different customers, right? Because in a generic industry, pricing is very important, right? If you want your product to be priced low, then you should be able to negotiate with the vendors for a better price, right? If you buy your raw materials at a better price, then you can compete in the market. If you don't have the negotiation skills, then you will end up buying materials which are at a higher, so your margins will be very low and you will never be profitable. What we have done, we did through partnerships and relationships and negotiations, and they trusted us. And they were willing to bring their prices lower, but we did give them some cookies for bringing that back, because you have to share. If you don't want to share, you want everything for yourself, then he's not going to do it, right? So we did that. We did relationships, we did partnerships, we negotiated the terms, so we were able to manufacture products at a lower price so that we can compete in the market. And that is very critical. Negotiating skills are very important in a company. Any company, doesn't have to be pharma company. So that's the only way you can succeed, and then being proactive and planning is definitely going to help.
Good questions. Michael, you have?
Yeah, you said something in the PowerPoint that interested me a lot. You said leaders clone leaders. Who was, and you have a lot of these like mental aspects that I see you're very passionate about. Where did you learn it from? Who was your leader?
I learned from my difficulties that I faced. I worked for some of the toughest bosses. They gave me a lot of rough time. So sometimes those challenges will teach you lessons, right? But then again, you will have someone that you would look up to. My dad was a role model for me, and I probably got his genes, okay? And he did the same thing when he was growing up, did something different, very confident and all that. But then friends, some of my friends who are my partners have done extremely good. There's one friend, he's very stable. He's always at a higher frequency, very happy. No matter what you do, you cannot make him get upset, right? I learned some things from him also. And I'm okay to share this with everybody, because we all learn from different people, and that's the way it is. But we also learn when you fall. You will definitely learn when you get up, and then when you realize you're behind, and when you're running fast, then you realize that Yeah, so this is actually, you're going to learn through your experiences. You look at different entrepreneurs who are doing, Bill Gates, yeah, at that time Bill Gates was, so I was looking at him as an entrepreneur. Then came Elon Musk. He has done different things, Steve Jobs, different. Those are all like mentors, Warren Buffett. I listen to those audiobooks and I see what they have done. But every leader has a different way of doing things. It's not the same recipe. Everybody has a different recipe, but you need to know what kind of ingredients you put in so that it turns out to be a good dish. Yeah, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
And just before everybody leaves,